Today we're looking at a unique luxury cruise line which promises to take you to some amazing remote destinations which other cruise lines simply might not offer. On this week's Planet Cruise Weekly, we're telling you all about the Scottish company Hebridean Island Cruises. Well, hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Planet Cruise Weekly. I'm Keith, ex-cruise director, cruise lover, cruise goer and cruise commentator, I suppose you could say. This is Planet Cruise Weekly. Every week we talk about different things that you suggest to us in the industry, and every week I'm joined by a different co-presenter, one of the knowledgeable team that work here at Planet Cruise. Amber Byrne, with a Y, is joining me today. Very exciting. And the Y means that there's an Irish connection, is there?
It is. It's the Irish form of Byrne.
The Irish form of Byrne. Now, Amber here worked 11 years with Princess Cruises before coming across from the last 3 years working with us here at Planet. So a fantastic pedigree. We do like to give you the experienced voice of the industry, and that's what you're getting here. And today, keeping that Celtic theme, it's all about Hebridean Island Cruises, who are an all-inclusive, luxury Scottish-based cruise line. So, Hebridean Island Cruises launched their first ship, the Hebridean Princess, in 1989. She's believed to be the smallest luxury cruise ship in the world, just 30 luxury cabins. Yes, I did say 30. It means only 50 passengers. It's incredible. And this means all the passengers receive amazing treatment with an intimate, really personal experience. There's 35 crew members or more, so a minimum of 35. So there's always somebody readily available to help you answer any questions you may have and basically answer your every single waking need.
To start off with, Hebridean Island Cruises offer a truly all-inclusive experience in order to ensure that the time you spend with them is as enjoyable as possible. This means that food and drink, guides, shore visits, entertainment, transfers, gratuities and parking are all included in the price. Also included is the onboard Wi-Fi and bicycles which you can borrow for exploring ashore. You can even make some amazing memories with extra activities like speedboat rides at no extra charge.
Now, when it comes to food and drink, you can enjoy gourmet dinner on board the Hebridean Princess in their main restaurant. And you can expect to find a range of dishes compiled of fresh, locally sourced ingredients such as seafood and pheasant and really succulent Scottish beef. The tables are laid out in a way to help you get to know your fellow passengers, with several large hosted tables, ideal for solo travellers, and then the remainder being tables for two, which is great again if you want to have a catch up with a friend or if you want to make new friends. Also, weather permitting, the crew will sometimes bring out a barbecue when you're anchored in one of the amazing stops on your cruise. Now, Hebridean Island Cruises also provide gala dinners, cocktail reception of course, and then wonderful gourmet dinners in the main restaurant. And you can enjoy all of this with a companion on a larger hosted table or enjoy sometimes the company of some of the ship's officers. This will include a recital at times of Robert Burns's famous Address to the Haggis. Now, when it comes to onboard activities, there's a generous library stocked with books, games, iPads, and best of all, complimentary Wi-Fi, which is great because on a lot of ships it costs an absolute fortune. I had to take a second mortgage out on my last cruise. You can also borrow DVDs from the library to watch on the TV in your cabin. And as a special luxury edition, Hebridean also allow requests to arrange extra activities from speedboat rides to fishing trips. And guess what? That's all included in the price.
Priding itself on exploration and enrichment, Hebridean offers the very special Footloose excursion programme on selected cruises, where expert guides take you through the history of the best and also lesser known places in Scotland. On these Footloose tours, Hebridean will take you trekking through the landscape, but there are always alternative visits available for those not wishing to participate in the guided walks.
Now, when we're talking about the design of the ship, it's incredibly elegant and intricate, with attention paid to virtually every detail. All the cabins are named after a different Scottish island, castle or loch, and each one is individually designed to make sure that your experience is completely unique and completely bespoke. The designers have made the most of all the available space in the cabins, really cleverly designed wardrobes and other amenities, and many cabins have comfortable seating areas with armchairs to give you a really homely feel and enable you to relax after a long day on those Footloose programmes exploring the rugged hills of Scotland. But this is probably the most important announcement of the whole episode. For all you Brits out there, breathe a sigh of relief because there are tea and coffee making facilities in every single cabin. Whew, glad we got that one out of the way. Along with a fully stocked mini fridge, an iron, an ironing board and a trouser press. Press or press. Also for your comfort, there are robes, cosy slippers and a lovely range of molten brown toiletries. And I do love a little bit of molten brown.
Absolutely. The wildly beautiful coast of Scotland is scattered with hundreds of islands shaped by the relentless pounding of the sea and the ever-changing weather. Starting from its home port of Oban, the Hebridean Princess takes the passengers on a tour through the many beautiful and wonderful landmarks around Scotland's landscape. Not only this, but Hebridean also provides some legendary picnics on some of the longer visits ashore.
Now, the Outer Hebrides, also known as the Western Isles, is a chain of islands off the west coast of Scotland. It's one of my favourite places in the world. From the northernmost Isle of Lewis through to Vatersay in the south, the Outer Hebrides offer an incredible diversity of life and geography, and they're right on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. And one example of how beautiful the Outer Hebrides are is the inhabited islands of Barra. Long famed for its beauty, they boast beaches, hills, moorland, and those typically Scottish macares, all on one small island. Another key destination is the most westerly point of the British Isles, St Kilda. The volcanic archipelago has been uninhabited since 1930 and bears the evidence of more than 2,000 years of human occupation in extreme conditions that are prevalent out in the Hebrides. It's a truly beautiful location and again a great example of what these islands have to offer.
You can go to spot birds, beasts and all the rest of the Hebrides wildlife that flourishes in this unique environment. Or you can enjoy the other activities on offer in the amazing British outdoors, from cycling to canoeing, kayaking to kite surfing and walking to windsurfing. Be inspired by stunning sea views and endless skyscapes, or simply soak up the amazing Outer Hebridean atmosphere on one of the myriad of main and outlying islands.
The Inner Hebrides is a large group of islands located between the Outer Hebrides and the mainland of Scotland. The Southern Hebrides includes the islands of Mull and Iona, which are in the north, and that's where of course Christianity started in the UK with St Augustine. And then you've got the islands of Cole and Tiree in the west, you've got the Slate Islands in the northeast, Giga in the southeast, and then the islands of Islay, Jura and Colonsay in the southwest.
One of the key isles is the Isle of Mull, which has become well known by all who view the BBC programme Springwatch and Coast. The presenter Gordon Buchanan is from Mull and still his family and has a house there. Mull is also now very well known as the home of the CBBC programme Balamory, based around the coloured houses of Tobermory.
Another key port in the Inner Hebrides is the Isle of Bute. Now, for such a compact island, Bute has some extraordinary varied landscapes. The island's a haven for walking, cycling, fishing and wildlife, but it's best known for the town of Rothesay, which is a very traditional and good-looking town with signs of its Victorian heritage, including a splendid Victorian frontage cradling the romantic Rothesay Bay. Dominating the shoreline amongst the glorious Esplanade Gardens is the refurbished Isle of Bute Discovery Centre. It's a unique 1920s circular structure of cast iron and glass. And you can also explore the impressive Rothesay Castle, its dungeons, thick outer walls and the Grand Hall, which are now all fully restored. Kind of make you think a little bit of that Scottish play that we shouldn't really mention. Macbeth.
The gorgeously untamed island of Jura is one of the wildest places in Scotland. Located off the mainland's west coast, the long and narrow island is known for its soaring mountains, delectable whisky, swirling whirlpool and a local population of just 200 people who are outnumbered hugely by over 5,000 wild deer.
The idyllic isles of the Inner Hebrides are a dream come true if you're into the great outdoors. Nature lovers will get to see all sorts of lesser spotted species in the wild, from otters to white-tailed eagles. From the castles and mountains of Mull to the spiritual heritage of Iona, there's plenty here to capture the imagination. The island of Skye is the largest island in the Inner Hebrides, and it's a big draw for photographers who come to capture its magical landscapes. The Northern Isles are a chain of islands off the north coast of mainland Scotland. On board Hebridean Princess, you can discover rugged coastlines, fascinating wildlife, and the unspoilt landscapes that Shetland and Orkney have to offer. Now, the Shetland Islands are an archipelago made up of more than 100 different islands, but only 15 of them are actually inhabited. They're closer to Norway than mainland Scotland, which has impacted the area's unique cultural heritage. Various fantastically preserved archaeological sites and the spectacular Uphellia Festival are vivid reminders of the island's Viking past. But it's not just the Vikings who left their mark on the Shetland Islands. Traces of ancient peoples stretching back as far as the island's earliest Neolithic settlers are laid bare at some of the astounding, well-preserved archaeological sites. From Iron Age brocks and mysterious standing stones to wheelhouses and traditional croft houses, you can delve into the lives of the Shetland's inhabitants through the ages.
Orkney is another archipelago with around 70 islands lying north of mainland Scotland. Award-winning beaches, fantastic wildlife, dramatic sea stacks and rugged cliffs. What more could you want?
Well, funnily enough, there is more that you could expect, because Orkney is also considered to be one of the best places in the UK to see the magical Aurora Borealis, which is also known, of course, as the Northern Lights. So when you're there, don't forget to keep your eyes peeled, especially in the evenings. And if you want to know more about the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights, whichever way you want to call it, click the link and have a look at our special Planet Cruise Weekly episode that we did about that. So one of the great things about working for Planet Cruise is that, being a travel company, we employ people the world over, who work the world over as well. Hence, I'm sitting next to a lady who hails from Body, Scotland. You'll be able to tell that when she starts speaking as well. It's very, very clear. This is Sharon, one of the wonderful managers at Planet Cruise. And Sharon, I believe you spend a lot of your time holidaying around the west coast of Scotland.
I do, Keith, that's right. I do believe, at the risk of sounding biased or patriotic, that I do actually live in probably the most beautiful part of the world, and we've got some wonderful scenery right on my very doorstep. So first of all, Oban frequents a lot in the Itineraries, and Oban is my favourite place to go. It's a beautiful, beautiful port. You can walk up to McCaig's Folly and see the whole of Oban Bay across you, which is gorgeous, or take some time out and get some fresh fish caught that morning in the restaurants, talk to the locals in the pub, they're always quite friendly, or take a boat trip across to Mull, or maybe even in the summer months. If you recently watched the Cruising with Jane McDonald programme, she was in the Isle of Staffa, where she sang her wee heart out in Fingal's Cave, and amongst its natural acoustics. You can also visit the Isle of Arran, which is the largest in the Firth of Clyde, the largest of the islands. And close by there will be the home of Arran Aromatics, which is quite famous, maybe perhaps more among the ladies who know the brand. And on the other side of the island, it's a nice drive over to Blackwaterfoot. And close to there, you'll come across what's known as King's Cave.
With the spider, the whole story of him looking at the spider's web.
Yeah, where he drew his inspiration,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah,
That's
okay.
correct if you believe the tale, of course. Hebridean also stop in Skye, the Isle of Skye, which is the largest in the Inner Hebrides. There's loads of different regions in Scotland that are good for whisky tasting in the local areas. For Skye, the big one's probably Talisker, so if you're going there, make sure you have a dram.
A dram, which we would better translate that, a dram of whiskey, which is like a small drink,
a
isn't
shot
it?
of whiskey.
A wee dummy.
Maybe don't shot it.
A wee dummy.
While you're there, you should probably go looking for the fairy pools or the fairy glen. Fairy glen you can do from Uig, but it's not signposted, and the locals will not tell you where it is. They believe if you are going to see it, then you will find it.
Oh, really?
But 4 men will tell you where it is.
Well, Sharon, thank you very much for sharing that information with us. Much, much appreciated. As you can see, loads of exciting things to see, to do, to experience along the west coast of Scotland when you go on a wonderful Hebridean Island Cruise. Now, interestingly, on top of their cruise ship, which does ocean cruising, Hebridean also have a river cruise ship called the Royal Crown. The chief purser on board the Hebridean Princess accompanies each itinerary to oversee the delivery of unobtrusive service in a very unfussy style. Their presence, together with the cruise director and the knowledgeable tour manager and the talented musicians, helps to create a special, friendly atmosphere which is really unique within the industry. And this demonstrates how intimate this company is. You're going to get to know everyone while on board, and your comfort is always the highest priority.
On board Royal Crown, you can explore many iconic towns and romantic cities along some of Europe's best rivers. One of which is the Rhine, which passes through great cities, vineyards and valleys, as it is joined by mighty tributaries such as the Main and the Ruhr. Some of the greatest areas of Europe that Royal Crown sails through are the Netherlands, through Germany, Luxembourg and Switzerland. Some of the major cities consist of Amsterdam, Bruges, Nuremberg, Strasbourg and Basel.
Now, if you want to find out more about river cruising around Europe in general, we did another great episode of Planet Cruise Weekly. All you need to do to watch that is to click the link. Also, get in touch if you've been on a cruise or just a holiday recently and you want to share about it with us. We never tire from hearing from you. So this has been our overview of Hebridean Island Cruises. I'm Keith Maynard. This is our brand new presenter. I think it's done a pretty damn good job. That's our lovely Amber Byrne, who you may well have chatted to on the phone. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you again next week for another episode of PCW. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
Hi everyone, thanks very much for watching the video. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe below, and remember to click the bell to get those notifications turned on. And if you're looking for more fantastic travel content like this, then click on the videos to the right. It will be really, really informative. Or you can click on the Planet logo to the left and go to our website for some really fantastic deals. Thanks for watching.